We heard a noise up in the roof of the barn, which we thought might be rats. So we put the motion sensing camera up in there, and it turns out it was a Pine Marten. This is an adult Pine Marten, and we've had adult Pine Martens running around the property quite often. They sometimes come up to the door or the window. But as you can see, this one, as it walks away, has got young kits with it. So that's obviously a mother, and she's moved into the roof with some young kits, and she's looking after them up there. It turns out they're going to use it, I would say, for a couple of weeks at least. She's bringing food up to them now. There are half mice and dead birds up in the area, and it's starting to smell quite a lot. They're using it as a toilet at this end. You can see some poop there on the right, which the little one's just having a little bit of sniff of. And it turns out it got quite curious with the camera and quite often came up and chewed on the cables and the camera. As I say, it got quite smelly up there. It was using it as a latrine. It's just having a pee here at this stage, you can see, and that was unfortunately running down into the plasterboard ceiling downstairs. The adult wasn't using it as a latrine, as it turns out. She was upstairs, and she was using the upstairs floor as her latrine, which we caught a decent bit of footage from. We weren't sure where she was coming in. We had footage of her outside. This was her running around outside the barn. Ignore the date down there, it's not correct timestamp on this. But we weren't sure where she was coming in. And then we got some footage up in the roof of her jumping up onto the rafter beam, where she then crawled up to the top of the roof and came in and out of one of the holes. Now, Pine Martens aren't meant to be handled. You're not allowed to interfere with Pine Martens. But this little one, unfortunately, fell down the side of the wall and got itself stuck. After a couple of hours of it crying, there was no choice. I had to reach in and get hold of it. It wasn't in the slightest bit bothered about me. It was quite comfortable being held, but I held it for the least amount of time, and I put it up back with its mother, and she wasn't in the slightest bit bothered. So the Pine Martens are probably with us for a few weeks, and hopefully they'll move on soon, and we'll be able to get the area out and get it cleaned.